Good morning. Today we'll read about the examination of an obstetrical patient.
Okay. We are going to do the abdominal examination in an obstetric patient. So when we start with the abdominal examination, we have generally divided it into three main parts. First is the inspection, the second is the palpation, and the third is auscultation. So we are starting with our inspection in the abdominal examination. Before doing any examination, there are four important things that have to be noted. First, you have to inform the patient what you are going to do and take the consent of the patient. The second thing, you are going to ask the patient to empty the bladder, and the third, that you will expose the required part that has to be examined. As you can see in this patient, we have exposed the part which has to be examined in this patient. And if it's not mandatory, but you must have a female attendant on your side if it's a male person examining the patient. Now, when we start with the examination, our first thing that we are going to do is the inspection. In inspection, we are going to see the size of the abdomen, shape of the abdomen, and the contour of the abdomen. So here we can see the abdomen is generally enlarged in size. The void is spherical and longitudinal. It's looking longitudinal void. So this patient is this was our inspection finding on this. We can also see a darkly pigmented line all over the abdomen, stretching from the ensiform cartilage and till the pubic symphysis. Here we can appreciate this line. This is called the linea nigra. This is brownish black discoloration of the present in the midline of the abdomen, generally seen in the pregnancy due to some hormonal changes. Second, what we can also appreciate is striations on both sides of the abdomen. So in this patient, we are not having good striations, but general patients may have whitish striations on both the sides of the midline. Then we will see for the position of the umbilicus and the whether it is inverted, flat or everted. In this case, we can say the umbilicus is centrally placed and is flat. Other things except these, we can also see for any kind of visible skin changes, any scar mark present in the abdomen, any kind of dilated veins, enlargements, or the hernial sites should also be appreciated for any there is any kind of hernial enlargements are present in the abdomen. Then after checking all these things, we will this will complete our obstetrical inspection of the patient. Then we are going to for the second part, that is a palpation. For palpation, we will start with the first palpation. We will start with the right side of the left hand and the ulnar border of the left hand. We will start from the Xiphi sternum, that is the hardest point we can feel over here near the chest, and slowly will progress down to feel the first resistance. This first resistance which we are going to feel is the fundus of the uterus. So this is being represented as the fundal height of this uterus. In what the interpretation we can get by these fundal height is, when we divide the abdomen, we see the umbilicus is centrally placed. This corresponds to 24 weeks of gestational age. If we divide the lower part from symphysis pubis to umbilicus into two equal parts like this, we can see over here we have two marks already made over on this spatula. This represents at pubic symphysis it is 12 weeks. Then it is 20 weeks. We will keep on adding 4 weeks in it. Then this is 12 weeks, 16 weeks, then 20 and 24 weeks. Likewise, we will again do it from the umbilicus to the pubic symphysis. This is 24 weeks, then 28, 32 and 36. Again, after the engagement of the head, it will descend down to this position at 40 weeks. So this way we can appreciate what the fundal height signifies. After taking the fundal height, where we have marked the point of the highest resistance, we will again take another measurement, that is called the symphyso-fundal height. Symphyso-fundal height, to take this height, we will put our inch tape from centimeter side on the pubic symphysis and try to measure the point of the highest resistance. In this case, here we can see it is 28 centimeters. So, from 20 weeks gestation, in centimeters, the symphyso-fundal height is said to be corresponding to the gestational age. There are four important grips, obstetrical grips. So first is the fundal grip. To take the fundal grip, we have to we have to stand on the right side of the patient and face towards the patient's head. And with the help of both our hands, the ulnar aspect of both this palmar surface of the hand should be placed on the fundus of the uterus over here, like this. Then we are going to feel what we are going to have, we appreciate in this fundal grip. What we are going to see is if we feel an hard, globular and a ballotable mass on this side, that means it is a head. And if we feel a irregular, soft and non-ballotable mass, that means it is a breech presentation. Breech over here. Then we are going with the lateral grips. We will now, after the fundal grip, we will slowly move down towards the lateral side of the uterus, and we will start palpating the lateral borders of the uterus. That is called the lateral grip. For doing that, you will stabilize the uterus with the help of one hand and slowly drag down the second hand from upwards to downwards. So you are going to feel the part. If there is a regular convexity on one side, that is suggestive of the back of the baby, and knobby structures on the other side will represent the limb buds of the baby. Now the third, we are going to do the first pelvic grip. For this, first we have to change our position. We are going to face towards the patient's leg. Then place both the hands parallel to the inguinal ligament and slowly try to imagine our hands downwards and backwards to feel the part which we can appreciate here. So if we can again feel our globular, hard, ballotable mass over here, that is suggestive of the head of the baby or the fetus over here. And if we are going to feel a soft irregular mass in the lower side, that means the baby's podalic pole or the breech is over here, buttocks are over here. So this will confirm our finding from the fundal grip and confirm the presentation of the baby. The thing we are going to appreciate by this grip is the attitude of the baby. For seeing the attitude of the baby, we will slowly drag down. Then when we already know the back of the baby, the highest point, the most prominent point on the skull that is felt on the back side is called the occiput, and the most prominent point on the opposite side of the head will be the sinciput. The relationship between the occiput and sinciput are going to tell us the attitude of the baby. So if the sinciput is lying higher on the abdomen in comparison to occiput, then it means the baby's head is completely deflex in this form. If the sinciput is lying on the same level as the occiput, that means the baby's head is deflex. And if the sinciput is lying low down, this is a sinciput and this is a occiput, if it is lying low down, that means the baby's head is deflex. The third thing that we can appreciate by this grip is the engagement of the head. If our hands are converging on the lower pole, that means the baby's head or the presenting part has not yet been engaged. But if our hand are divergent and we cannot reach below this fetal bump, that means that the head here or the presenting part has engaged. Now the third, we are going to do the last is the second pelvic grip. For doing this, we have to again face towards the patient's head and place the ulnar border of the hand on the pubic symphysis like this, and outstretched hand with the fingers around the patient's abdomen. So we are going to feel the part over here that will confirm our presenting part, as well as by moving it side by side, we will confirm the engagement of the head if present or not. Now the last part of our examination, that was the auscultation. For auscultation, we have to first identify a bony prominence over the lateral side of the limbs over here. This is the anterior superior iliac spine. Then we will have to make a virtual line extending from the anterior superior iliac spine to the umbilicus. On this line, somewhere in the midpoint of this line, we generally hear the fetal heart. So we will, with the help of the stethoscope, we can appreciate the fetal heart over here, somewhere here. And if the lie is something else except the longitudinal lie, cephalic presentation in the breech, we can hear the fetal heart rate somewhere anterior near the umbilicus. And if it is posterior lie, then it will be somewhere around the lateral sides. Now, the
I thank Dr. Soumya who helped in a recording, and the patient also because she gave the consent for examination. If you all could understand the obstetrical examination, please subscribe, drop a like, and share. Thank you.